Just as Claire was about to use the toilet in the house, a man from the past suddenly barged in. Before she even had time to feel embarrassed, the man began scolding her harshly. No one knew she was a time traveler from the future, so the locals were always suspicious of her identity. No matter where she went, she was under constant watch. She'd barely stepped away, and they were already pressing her again. At that moment, a villager stood up and asked if Claire had been threatened. Before she could respond, the men from Clan Mackenzie were outraged. How dare a young man question them? As a group closed in on him, he glanced at Claire and left reluctantly. But what no one knew was, back in his room, he donned a redcoat uniform. As Claire continued her journey with the group to the next village to collect rent, danger was already drawing near. Along the way, they not only collected rent, but at night, they exploited Jamie's whip scars to gain sympathy and extra money. To Claire, these men looked no different from bandits. When they brought food to share, she believed it was stolen from the poor and refused to eat it. Her comment angered the group, and one man even pointed a sword at her. Thankfully, Jamie quickly stepped in to defuse the situation, saving her from harm. Later, Jamie explained that what you see isn't always the whole truth, and that the Mackenzies weren't bandits. Claire soon found proof of that. She noticed discrepancies in their ledger. A portion of the rent money was missing. She suspected the second-in-command was embezzling funds, but no one offered her an explanation. That night, she finally learned the truth. The missing money was actually being saved to support the restoration of the Scottish king. These Highlanders were sacrificing their own comforts just to reclaim land seized by England. But Claire remembered the history Frank had told her. The Jacobite uprising in 1746 would end in tragic failure. Even with all their unity and sacrifice, they would not restore their king. Many Highlanders would die in that battle, and mass graves of clan warriors would remain visible even in 1945. Right next to one such grave was a stone bearing the name of the Mackenzie clan. Claire was shocked. She had unknowingly been traveling with those very warriors who would one day fall for freedom. She no longer saw them as thugs, but as brave souls headed toward a doomed cause. Knowing how it would all end, Claire was overwhelmed with sorrow, and perhaps because she knew the outcome, she was now determined to try and stop it from happening. Later, the group stopped at a tavern for rest. Nearby, a table of strangers began teasing Claire in Scottish Gaelic. She couldn't understand the language, but the Mackenzie men did. Even if she was being watched by them, she was still their guest. And when Claire told the elder that their rebellion against England would fail, a fight broke out suddenly between the clansmen and the strangers. The scene turned chaotic. Claire and the old man huddled in fear as the brawl escalated. When the dust settled and the Mackenzies had won, Claire still had no idea why the fight happened. She tallied the aftermath: 3 with split lips, 2 with broken noses, 12 with joint injuries, 4 with loose teeth. As Claire scolded them for being savages, one man finally explained. They had fought because those strangers had insulted Claire with vulgar remarks. To defend her honor, they had started the brawl. Hearing this, Claire felt deeply guilty. She hadn't expected these rough men, who often treated her coldly, to fight so fiercely on her behalf. In that moment, she was truly moved by their loyalty.